Hello friends, how are you? I hope all of you well and good. Today, we will talk about the most dangerous job in the world. Before start, please take your seats. Some jobs leap to mind as dangerous, including police officer, firefighter, or in current times, frontline healthcare worker. They certainly all present their dangers to those who practice such professions. But none of them qualified for this list, comprised from statistics collected from 2019 and 2018. Some of them are surprising, while others have long been considered dangerous, at least by those who do not work in the field. Photos of ironworkers high above the earth building the skyscrapers of New York during the Depression are frightening to those with a healthy respect for heights. Other photos exist of the same workers sitting nonchalantly on a girder dozens of stories high, eating their lunch, without a safety line to be seen. Number 10. Bull riders. Bull riding is one of the most popular rodeo events, as well as the most dangerous. In the United States, the job is often touted as the most dangerous 8 seconds in sports. The phrase comes from the requirement that the rider remain atop the bull, with only one hand gripping the rope tied behind the bull's forelegs, for that period. If the free hand makes contact with the animal, the rider receives no score, even if the ride lasted the full 8 seconds, in the United States. Bull riding is popular in the US, Canada, Australia, across South America, in the Philippines and Japan, and in much of Western Europe. Number 9. Aircraft pilots and flight engineers. Commercial aviation is one of the safest ways to travel, according to statistics measuring passenger injury and fatalities. The industry frequently boasts of its safety record, with good reason. After all, touting passenger comfort and the entire airport experience nowadays isn't too convincing to prospective customers. Still, passengers, pilots and flight engineers on commercial carriers are among the safest within the aviation industry. But pilots of air taxis, small air shuttles, and private aviators are among the most dangerous professions. In statistics compiled by the U.S. Bureau of Labor in 2019, pilots and flight engineers had a fatal injury rate while on the job, which exceeded 10 times the rate for all workers, 3.5 deaths per 100,000 workers. In all, 75 aircraft pilots or navigators were killed during the preceding year, making it one of the most dangerous jobs for those involved. Small plane accidents included stunt pilots and airshow incidents which led to fatalities among participating pilots. Number 8. Structural iron and steel workers. The photos of iron and steel workers erecting the Empire State Building in New York or the Golden Gate Bridge in California are unnerving to those who have a fear of heights. Workers ran the lengths of beams, wearing coveralls, some in hard hats and some not, eschewing safety lines and nets. Workplace safety rules changed all that, and a considerable number of safety appliances and procedures came into use, but the profession remains a highly dangerous one across the world. In the United States, it was the 6th most dangerous in 2018, with just over 25 deaths per 100,000. Number 7. Deep sea commercial fishers. It's probably unsurprising the leading cause of death among commercial fishers is drowning, but there are numerous other dangers lurking within the profession. At sea, without medical assistance or emergency care much beyond a medical kit, injuries are common and often poorly treated. Slips and falls, caused by the motion of the vessel, often led to serious injury, including broken bones, crushed fingers, and sprains. Number 6. Veterinarians. The dangers posed to veterinarians as they go about their work include, obviously, animal bites and mauling. While the vet who cares for the family cat and dog might seem to have a safe job, the fact is many veterinarians, especially those working in rural areas and those with zoos, are in a dangerous profession. The danger isn't solely from the animals under their care either, at least according to a study in Australia completed in 2018. There it was determined that veterinarians are often a threat to themselves. Number 5. Roofers. The leading cause of on-the-job deaths among roofers is falling from roofs, which occur frequently enough to make it one of the world's most dangerous professions. Falls from roofs are frequently used as a comedic device in films and television situation comedies, but in the real world, there is little funny about them. Other injuries to roofers depend on the type of roof under installation, removal, or maintenance. Tarred roofs present burn hazards, metal roofs can cause cuts, as well as contact burns in bright sun. Number 4. Oilfield workers. Oilfield workers ashore and on offshore oil platforms around the world operate in professions among the most dangerous in the world. In July 1988, the oil platform Piper Alpha, operated by Occidental Petroleum Caledonia Limited, suffered an explosion and fire in which 167 perished. Only 61 workers survived the disaster. In April 2010, an explosion on the offshore platform Deepwater Horizon led to 11 deaths, dozens of injuries, a fire which proved impossible to extinguish, and the largest oil spill at sea in history. Clearly, working on offshore oil platforms presents dangers to the workers. Number 3. Underwater welders. Welding underwater is a highly specialized task, and a relatively few workers perform the job compared to other professions. Their services are required in the shipbuilding and repair industries, constructing and maintaining underwater pipelines and conduits for communication cables. They also work in dams, spillways, and other underwater infrastructure. The nature of their work exposes them to the risk of injury from explosions, collapse of structures, and of course, drowning. Number 2. Trash and recycling collectors. Workers who collect trash in the United States are part of a profession which is the 5th most dangerous in the country. Around the world, the danger is even greater in terms of the injuries and deaths sustained. Falling from collection trucks is one danger faced by trash collectors. Another, far more frequent, is being struck by other vehicles. They face danger from materials collected as well, including broken glass, sharp edges on some refuse, discarded toxic waste and materials, such as hypodermic needles, and more. Number 1. Lumberjacks and Loggers. Since the days when axes and two-man saws provided the only means of felling trees, the act of doing so has been dangerous. Somewhat perversely, advanced technology increased the risks. Logging and forestry management through harvesting trees is the most dangerous job category in the world. In the United States in 2018, fatal accidents involving lumberjacks and loggers exceeded an average of 135 per 100,000 workers. As noted, across all jobs as listed by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average was 3.5 per 100,000. One danger comes from being suspended from the tree being cut, taking it down in sections, with the worker exposed to the whipping of the tree as the upper section separates and falls. Accidents abound on the ground below, both from felling trees and from trimming them on the ground.